lot of people making a fortune off of this conservatorship.
I'm trying to make her aware that her mom and her business manager, her new business manager, Lou Taylor, they're actually trying to put Lindsay in the rehab so they can get a conservatorship over, and Lindsay doesn't even know it. When Lindsay's in the rehab, they're going to move for conservatorship. They want to put her in there. They want to control her finances. They want to control everything that she's doing to people in and out of her life.
Conservatorship paid for Jaime Spears and Lou Taylor to go to Israel on a vacation where he got baptized in the River Jordan. Britney footed the bill for that. What are we talking about here?
Jaime brought in TriStar Entertainment. Lou Taylor ran that. And Lou Taylor didn't really have a hold in entertainment until then. And Lou Taylor signed on with Britney as her business manager. Lou Taylor sends an email to Jaime saying, I want a minimum of $500,000 a year or the 5%, whichever is greater.
Britney Spears' bombshell testimony that she's being blocked from having a baby is sending out shockwaves.
She's performing, but yet she doesn't have the control to the point where she can't even have a baby?
That is very eye-opening.
I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I have an IUD inside of myself so that I don't get pregnant, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have children.
I want to make one thing clear so you all know this. When Lindsay was supposed to go into Morningstar Rehab, they started to reconstruct everything there for Lindsay to accommodate her. Sean Chapman Holly, Sean and Lou Taylor leaked that to the press because they wanted Lindsay to get out sooner and have her in UCLA so she wouldn't spend much time in the rehab. They're destroying my daughter's life.
So Lou Taylor is just your typical money-hungry capitalist pig who puts profits over the lives of people as usual and supports capitalism, and we all know that capitalism causes misery. This is just one of Lou Taylor's many scandals right now and controversies, including putting Britney Spears in an abusive pro-capitalism conservatorship, treating her like a slave, placing a listening device in Britney's bedroom potentially against the law, 10 people who died at Astroworld, employment discrimination, and PPP fraud. In 2008, she helped Britney Spears' dad, Jaime Spears, put her under a conservatorship. According to court documents in Lynn Spears, Britney Spears' mother's book, new incriminating emails show Lou Taylor conspiring with lawyers to drug Britney and put her in a conservatorship. Let me remind you that court systems and police departments and stuff like that, they're highly corrupt. They only serve the rich and elite. So it would not be a surprise, honestly, if there was some fishy stuff going on behind the scenes when it comes to like the court and stuff, because, Britney Spears exposes Lou Taylor and robbing Greenhill on Instagram. She was quoted in saying, I think they were trying to kill me. And this is kind of like, I don't blame her for feeling like this because honestly, allegedly, Rebecca Zahow and, Karen Silkwood, they were allegedly murdered. And, or if not that, they covered up like the crime, so I don't really blame her for feeling that way because Britney Spears was heavily sedated and drugged, repeatedly during this conservatorship. At the end of the day, Lou Taylor is compliant in the conservatorship. She benefited from it, and the conservatorship negatively affected Britney Spears' mental health. Kim Kardashian is one of the many people that work with Lou Taylor also, along with Jamie Lynn and Jaime Spears. I want to make a pure evil file series of the Kardashian family because that whole family is very problematic, and it's completely bullcrap and bullshit that Kim Kardashian is pretending to be into this true crime cases and fighting for justice for the victims when she wouldn't even speak up for Britney during Free Britney when she was being abused by her team and put on show like a circus animal and stuff. Britney Spears compared her experience in the conservatorship to sex trafficking. Britney was sent to a small rehabilitation program in a home in Beverly Hills that left her traumatized. She alleged that she was told she had to pay $60,000 a month and cried on the phone for an hour while Jaime loved every minute of it. She compared her situation to sex trafficking. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only similar thing to that is called sex trafficking. I feel ganged up on. I feel bullied. I feel left out and alone in California. The only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking, making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport, etc. During one of her tours, the circus tour, she smelled weed smoke and was afraid she wouldn't pass a drug test and not be able to see her kids. She didn't want to go on with the show, but her team forced her to perform anyway and threatened her. And in 2018, the LA tour was a pressure. Britney was forced to do a LA tour in 2018. You know, she felt like pressured. Her manager said they would sue her if she didn't follow through with the tour. She also was put on lithium and drugs as well. The X Factor UK Judge Lewis Walsh claimed in a new interview that Britney Spears was on so much medication that in 2012 she could barely sit up straight in her chair. Because I remember watching this part, you know, on the X Factor and stuff, and she was like out of it completely. Britney Spears also wasn't allowed to get married. She had a IUD in her body that she wasn't allowed to take out because her team and her conservation shippers did not want her to have children, you know, at all. They just wanted her to perform on stage like a circus animal against her will.
Jaime Lynn even filmed this interview in the home of Britney's former business manager, and that woman is bad news.
In addition to being investigated in Britney's case, Lou Taylor and her company TriStar are currently being sued in the state of Tennessee for employment discrimination. TriStar's company handbook claims they are a Christian company with Christian values committing to modeling the example set by Jesus Christ before providing a standard non-discrimination clause, which is strange because Chick-fil-A always does this about this Christian, you know, values and how they're Christian and all this, all while exploiting people and spreading, you know, pro-capitalism misery. This woman, Christy Andrews, who was an ex-employee of Lou Taylor, fired her in 2020 when the pandemic started because she needed to work from home. And this is a potential violation of Americans with Disabilities Act. Her emergency contact form clearly stated that she had multiple health-related issues, including asthma. Christie's disabilities were not a secret at Lou Taylor's office. And in fact, there was an email exchange where employees discussed the space heater in the office that was causing her asthma to act up. Lou Taylor admits she fired work-from-home staff first because computers. However, Christie was already provided a computer so she can work from home. When the pandemic first started, employees at Lou Taylor's company were told they were essential workers as first responders, restaurants, grocery stores, but accommodations would be made for people with compromised immune systems. Lou Taylor decided Christie was going to be the first person to be axed and let go and fired from her job and pending layoff. TriStar was actually keeping a list of employees with work from home requests. As you can see, zooming in, most people who got fired were labeled as childcare or having a compromised immune system. Suspiciously, they originally marked the box suggesting Christie had quit in her separation notice. However, the box was unchecked after she filed a complaint with the misrepresentation. Lou Taylor swears on a penalty of perjury that TriStar had 132 employees in March of 2020 and 14 were laid off, including Christie, but then she received a government PPP loan to support 155 jobs, potentially stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from U.S. taxpayers in the process. Lou Taylor contradicted herself multiple times in her court deposition. For example, at one point she says she had no idea who Chrissy was, her employee, but then admits Chrissy was the first person she was aware of to make a work from home request and brought up that she competitively cheered